Look around you. What do you see? Everyone is chasing the same thing: success, glory, a life without struggle. We look at the screens of our phones and we see people who have it all, like they just woke up one day and everything fell right into their laps. But let me tell you something you already know, deep down inside. That's a lie. It's a beautifully packaged lie, and you've been buying into it for way too long. The world doesn't work that way. It never has, and it never will. Every single masterpiece you admire, every great empire, every human being who ever changed the course of history, they all started in the exact same place you are right now, in the dark. They started with doubts. They started with fear. And most importantly, they started with absolutely nothing but a choice. You see, we all want the victory, but nobody wants the training camp. We want the finish line, but we're terrified of the mud, the sweat, the endless nights where nothing seems to work. When you first start chasing a dream, you're fueled by excitement. You think it's going to be a straight line to the top. You think you're different. You think you'll escape the pain. But then, reality hits you hard. It strikes you right in the face when you least expect it. And suddenly, you're on the ground. Your plans are ruined. Your energy is gone. And that burning fire you had in your chest, it feels like it's been completely extinguished. And you're left standing there, wondering what went wrong. That's the exact moment where 99% of people just walk away. They pack up their things, they look at the mountain, and they say to themselves, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe I'm just not built for this. They choose comfort over growth. They choose the safety of the crowd over the lonely path of greatness. They look for excuses, and trust me, the world will always give you a million good excuses to quit. It'll tell you you're too young, or too old, too poor, or just not talented enough. And if you listen to that voice, if you let it settle in your mind, it'll consume you until you're just another person talking about what they could have been. But you didn't click on this video to be like everybody else, did you? You're here because there's still a tiny spark left in you, even if it's buried under a mountain of disappointments. You're here because you want to know how to keep moving forward when everything around you is telling you to stop. You're tired of running away from the pressure. You're tired of settling for less than you're worth. So, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's talk about what it actually takes to survive the storm. Because the pain you're feeling right now isn't the end of your story. It's just the beginning of your setup. Think about the times you failed. Really think about them. What did they teach you? They didn't come to destroy you. They came to show you who you really are. When everything is going great, it's easy to look strong. It's easy to smile and feel like a king. But your true character, the real substance of your soul, is never revealed in the light. It's forged in the dark. It's tested when your back is against the wall and when you have every reason to give up, but you choose to take just one more step. That's where real strength comes from, not from winning, but from refusing to surrender when losing is the easiest option available. Let's cut the noise and get straight to the point. You're crying about how hard your life is. You're complaining about the lack of results. But let me ask you a real question. Have you actually given everything you've got? Like everything? Or are you just doing enough to get by, and then wondering why your life looks so average? You see, most people want the lifestyle of a champion, but they've got the work ethic of a slacker. They want the $1 million check, but they're putting in $50 worth of effort. It doesn't work that way. It'll never work that way. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you earn. Period. Look at the people at the top of their game, the athletes, the innovators, the leaders. You think they're there because of luck? You think they've got some magic genetics that you don't have? Stop lying to yourself. They're there because when you were sleeping, they were working. When you were scrolling through your phone, they were sweating. When you were out partying, they were grinding in silence, building their empire stone by stone. They didn't wait for motivation to strike them. They created their own momentum through pure, unfiltered, raw discipline. They chose to suffer early so they could live the rest of their lives like kings. You keep saying, tomorrow, I'll start next week. When things calm down, I'll focus. Guess what? Tomorrow is a graveyard of dreams. It's the place where potential goes to die. There's no such thing as a perfect condition. If you wait for everything to align, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The only time that matters is right now, this exact second. If you can't control your mornings, if you can't control your diet, if you can't control your focus for just 2 hours without getting distracted, you're not ready for greatness. You're just a fan, sitting in the stands, cheering for other people who actually had the guts to play the game. It's time to stop being soft. It's time to stop looking for a shortcut. There is no elevator to success. You've got to take the stairs, and every single step is gonna hurt. Your muscles are gonna burn. Your brain is gonna scream for comfort. But that's the exact moment where you have to push harder. When you hit the wall, you don't turn back. You break through it with your bare hands if you have to. You've got to develop a mentality that says, I will either find a way or I will make one, but I am not stopping. That's the mindset of a beast. That's the frequency you need to operate on if you want to leave a legacy. So, look at your goals again. Look at what you want to achieve, and then look at your daily schedule. Do they match? If they don't, you need to change your lifestyle today, not on Monday. Today, cut out the people who are dragging you down, eliminate the distractions, and lock yourself in the dark until the work is done. It's going to be lonely. It's going to be brutal. But on the other side of that pain is a version of you that nobody and nothing can ever break. Now, wipe that look off your face, get off your phone, and go earn your respect. Let's talk about the danger zone. It's not the start, and it's not the finish line. The most dangerous place on your journey is the middle. It's that dry, boring, exhausting desert where the initial excitement has completely worn off, and the finish line is still way too far to see. This is where your brain starts playing tricks on you. It asks you, is all this sacrifice really worth it? Are you sure you're not just wasting your time? This is where the grind gets boring. And let me tell you a brutal truth. Success is boring. It's not a movie montage with cool background music. It's the exact same unsexy, repetitive, difficult tasks, done day after day, week after week, with zero applause and zero immediate rewards. If you rely on motivation to get you through this desert, you're gonna fail, 100%. Motivation is a feeling. It's an emotion. And emotions change like the weather. One day you feel like you can conquer the world, and the next day, you don't even want to get out of bed. You can't build a kingdom on something so unstable. You've got to switch from a motivation mindset to a machine mentality. A machine doesn't care how it feels. A machine doesn't check its horoscope. It doesn't care if it's raining outside. And it doesn't need a pep talk to start working. When you flip that switch in your mind, you stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this today? And you just execute because that's what you do. You need to fall in love with the boredom of the process. You've got to learn to love the sweat, the silence, and the repetition. Every single rep you do when you don't want to, every single page you read when your eyes are heavy, every extra hour you put in when your friends are out having fun, that's where the real separation happens. That's where you separate yourself from the talkers, the dreamers, and the wishers. The world is full of people who are great at starting things, but the world is run by the few who are obsessed with finishing them. Be a finisher. Be the person who looks at a brutal, boring task and says, "This is exactly where everyone else quits, so this is exactly where I win." Stop looking for validation from the outside world. Nobody is going to clap for you while you're practicing in the dark. Nobody is going to notice your late nights or your sacrifices, and honestly, nobody cares. Everyone wants to see the trophy, but nobody wants to watch the grind. So, stop expecting people to understand your obsession. They can't see your vision, because God didn't give it to them. He gave it to you. It's your responsibility to protect it, to feed it, and to bring it to life, even if you have to walk that path completely alone. Your internal validation must become so loud that the silence of the world cannot discourage you. We're getting close to the edge, and you've got two options right now. You can let the fatigue slow you down. You can listen to that tired voice and take a break that turns into a permanent stop. Or you can dig deeper than you ever have before. You can tap into that hidden reservoir of human will and find that extra gear. You are much closer than you think. The breakthrough always happens right after the hardest moment of the struggle. So, lock your jaw, tighten your grip, and don't you dare slow down now. We're moving into the final stretch, and it's time to show the world what you're truly made of. This is it, the final stretch, the moment where the pretenders are exposed and the real contenders are crowned. Look back at the road you've traveled. Look at the scars, the sweat, the tears, and the endless hours of silent, lonely work. There were times when you wanted to scream, times when you thought the universe was completely against you, times when staying on the ground felt like the only logical option. But look at you now. You're still here. You didn't break. You didn't fold. You didn't run away. You stood your ground in the middle of the hurricane, and that means you've already won the most important battle of your life. You conquered your own weakness. You see, success isn't about the money in your bank account. It's not about the cars or the social media followers. Those are just the side effects. They're just the trophies. True success, real greatness, is the person you had to become in order to survive the fire. It's the bulletproof mindset, the unshakable confidence, the deep, quiet knowledge that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it, you can take the hit, and you can keep moving forward. You've transformed yourself from a victim of circumstances into a master of execution, and nobody can ever take that away from you. It's yours forever, earned through pure blood, sweat, and discipline. Now, it's time to let the world see the results of your silent labor. Step out of the shadows, open the doors, and show them what happens when a human being refuses to quit. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them call it luck. Let them say you're just gifted. Only you know the real price. Only you know the currency you paid with. Those dark, cold mornings, those exhausting nights, the times you had to say no to everything else, just to say yes to your vision. Let your success be your noise. Let your execution be your argument. You don't need to explain anything to anyone. Your life is the proof. But remember this, as you stand on top of your mountain, greatness isn't a destination. It's a lifelong commitment. The moment you get comfortable, The moment you start thinking you've completely arrived, that's the moment you start sliding back down. You've got to stay hungry. You've got to keep that fire burning in your belly. You've got to find new mountains to climb, new boundaries to break, and new standards to set. The world doesn't need more average people. It needs leaders, pioneers, people who can look at the impossible and say, "Watch me." Be that example. Be that beacon of light for the next generation that's lost in the dark. So, as this video comes to an end, don't just close this tab and go back to your old routine. Don't let this be another piece of temporary motivation that fades away in 10 minutes. Take this energy, lock it in your chest, and put it into immediate action. Right now, today. Your future self is waiting for you. Your family is counting on you, and the world is ready for your story. No more excuses, no more delays, no more hesitation. Go out there, dominate your day, lock in your focus, and never, ever give up.